I watched my share of scary shows. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Interview with the Vampire. But what I saw a few months ago at the mobile vet clinic was so scary I had to turn away. I saw this big, beautiful husky doing everything he could to ask to be left alone. He had crouched down, he had turned his head away, he had pulled to the very edge of his leash, trying to make some space between him and the woman next to him who was vigorously scrubbing his neck and telling him what a pretty boy he was. She thought that she was petting him. What she was actually doing was asking to have her face ripped off. She just didn't understand. And the dog's owner, standing right there, just didn't understand what the dog was saying. And the reason that I understood was because I used to own a very dangerous dog, and I had to learn what he was saying. The American Veterinary Medical Association estimated that in 2020, 44% of U.S. households owned at least one dog. And this equated to between 83 and 88 million dogs in this country. With this many dogs in this country, it is basically inevitable that we will one day have an interaction with a dog. Unfortunately, not all of those interactions end up being happy ones. Loader, in a 2019 article for the journal Hellion, writes that between the years 2005 and 2013, there were over 337,000 trips to the ER for dog bites annually. Over 337,000 trips to the ER for dog bites annually. Why so many dog bites? Perhaps it's because we humans don't seem to be very adept at reading dog body language. Mainz et al., in a 2018 volume of Frontiers in Veterinary Medicine, have an article in which they explain some of the many ways that people will misinterpret what dogs are saying, even to the point where young children sometimes think that a growling dog is just making a funny sound. Learning to be better at speaking dog will help keep us and dogs safer and happier with the interactions that we are inevitably going to have between our two species. Today we're going to look at 3 different things that will help us develop our fluency in speaking dog. We're going to look at a foundational principle. We're going to look at some specific signals that dogs will give us, and we're going to talk about what we do if we see the dog giving us those signals. We'll start by the foundational principle because that applies before we're even in the same room as a dog. Here it is. Dogs don't always want to be touched. That's it. That's all there is to that one. Dogs don't always want us to touch them. Now that we know that, we can think about what are some of the ways that dogs will show us that they don't want us to touch them. Overall posture, shape of the eyes, and what the dog is doing with its tongue. Dogs have more signals than these, but these are 3 really good ones to start with. Overall posture, a dog will shy away, it will cower, it will bend away, it will move away from us. It will tell us with its whole body, don't touch me. Shape of the eyes, whale eyes. When a dog opens its eyes so wide you can see the whites all around, we call it whale eyes. I don't know why. This is a dog who says, I'm not comfortable with this situation. You can see a really good example of whale eyes and soft eyes and the difference between the two. Big lip licks and little lip licks. Little lip licks is when you just barely see the tip of the dog's tongue. This is a happy dog. This is a dog who says, I like what's going on. Big lip licks is when the dog's tongue curls up on the outside of its mouth, curls up towards its nose, and it comes out so far that you can see the underside of the dog's tongue. This is a dog saying, I am hesitant, I am uncomfortable, I don't like what's going on here. We have these signals that dogs can show us. So what do I do if a dog shows me any of these signals? This one also is really easy. If a dog shows me that it doesn't want me to touch it, All I have to do is not touch it. And also, a dog might say, yes, I want you to pet me. But after a few minutes, it says, now I'm done. I don't want you to pet me anymore. I want to go do something else. At that time, the dog will show some of these other signals. And all I have to do to uphold my end of the human-dog conversation is say, okay, now I'll stop touching you. That was a bunch of information. Let's review it. There's a lot of dogs. They don't always want us to touch them. They have many ways of showing us that they don't always want us to touch them. And all we have to do when a dog says, don't touch me, is not to touch that dog. Learning to speak dog will help keep us and dogs safer, healthier, and happier. And in addition, fluency in any language can lead to this deeper connection and understanding. So I encourage all of us to explore this way of speaking dog and to see where that fluency might take us, into what kind of connection and what kind of deeper understanding this might lead us. Thank you.